the manufacturing sector who have lost their jobs seems to be the highest when compared to those in other industries. Several major media industry players have offered voluntary or mutual separation scheme or MSS exit options to their employees. Voluntary Separation Scheme or VSS is not the same as retrenchment, although the end results of VSS might be the same as retrenchment as the employee is no longer being employed. The VSS can only be implemented by companies after announcing to their employees that they have been making losses or the company's profit has not been good or the company is not dismissing anyone but will welcome any application from the employee who wants to be considered for VSS. Normally, the employer will discuss the terms and conditions of the VSS with their employees in terms of compensation, qualifications to accept VSS, requirements for VSS, and so on.
Before we look at the issue, we must look at what is the employer's right. As an employer, he has the right to hire and fire. So these are general principles saying that. Now the question of fire, the employee depends on employment for his life. So the firing right should be restricted. So there are many legislations in our act to protect the rights. Now we are just looking at the losing of jobs due to business losses or restructure. Now before 1980, what the companies do is that the last in first out or people who are redundant, they are ceased from employment. Now after 1980, we have this special act called the Code of Conduct for Industrial Harmony. All employers, when there is such a need to restructure the company and there is employees to leave jobs or redundant, then they have to follow this Code of Conduct for Industrial Harmony, which stipulates that voluntary separation scheme must be introduced first before compulsory retrenchment is applied. So this is where the word VSS comes from.
Voluntary Separation Scheme or VSS is one of today's hot topics. VSS involves employees, employers, and the Malaysian labour law. The company may offer the Voluntary Separation Scheme or VSS as an alternative for cost-cutting of their business operations. In offering VSS, a company will offer a better package of compensation to support their employees' decisions in applying for the VSS.
Tawaran VSS ini sudah tentu untuk supaya seseorang itu bersetuju, maka you mesti menawarkan sesuatu yang istimewa.
The nature of the VSS is on a voluntary basis, which means the acceptance of the VSS must be made by the employee's own will. In other words, the company cannot force their employees to accept the VSS scheme.
See, normally in our industries, what they do is that once the company's business is down, then they find out is the business down for a long time, is it for a short time? Then they will follow the Code of Conduct for Industrial Harmony if there is a need to reduce people. If there is no reduction of people, then you don't follow the code. You can do other practices. But when it comes to reducing number of people, then you have to decide, is it because you want to close partial, you want to close full, or total? Then you follow the Code of Conduct for Industrial Harmony, then you have to introduce VSS, Voluntary Separation Scheme. The VSS scheme is just a notification to employees that apply on a voluntary basis. The reason why the system encourages the people to apply on a voluntary basis because we don't want young people to lose a job when they need the money. So this is where elder workforce, you've got other jobs to do and they can find a way. Then it's an opportunity for them to leave the company with some compensation paid.
When an employee wishes to offer a VSS, the employer is required to fill out the Borang Pemberhentian PK or PK form and an attachment of a name list of employees involved in the VSS. The PK form and the attachment should be submitted to the Department of Labour or Jabatan Tenaga Kerja for at least 30 days before the VSS can take place. The Department of Labour will monitor the number of employees involved in the VSS exercise, the value of the compensation, and will make sure that the employees are compensated on time. The Borang Pemberhentian PK or PK form is available for free and it can be downloaded from any of the official websites of the Department of Labour. Department of Labour Peninsula Malaysia Malaysia or Jabatan Tenaga Kerja Semenanjung Malaysia at jtksm.mohr.gov.my. Department of Labour Sabah or Jabatan Tenaga Kerja Sabah at jtksph.mohr.gov.my. Department of Labour Sarawak, Jabatan Tenaga Kerja Sarawak at jtkswk.mohr.gov.my.